Hello everyone and welcome to the Western Region Football League preview show. I'm Louie Bulzomi, filling in for Kevin Hilly alongside Steve Thom. And Tomsy, it's going to be another big week in Western Region football, starting with Division 3. And we've got Laverton playing host to Albanvale.
Yeah, another big game. These two will play in finals a little bit later on in the year. Whether they meet each other, I don't know, but they'll be part of it. Albanvale, they're on a roll at the moment. They're flying down there, the Cobras, and I think they're going to have another... it won't be a big win. I think just a good tough win against Laverton, who obviously have had a great last couple of weeks. Lost last week, but a good win the week before. But Albanvale to get home.
Yep, continuous improvement will still be on the minds of the Tarneit boys as they play host to the second place Sanctuary Lakes.
Yeah, Sanctuary Lakes, once again, the young group down there, they've got a bit of a sniff of what's going on, and that means finals. And they'll be pretty keen. Nicky Waddell will be pretty keen to get his young group up and running and firing. So they should have a big win against Tarneit.
And speaking of finals, the same will be on the minds of the Braybrook side, who play host to the bottom place Nth Sunshine.
Yeah, no, the Brookers need to keep winning. Once again, we spoke about it last week in the review, and we'll keep saying it. The top two position in Division 3 and Division 2, you know, the double chance. Otherwise, there's only a top four in both divisions. So both these Braybrook and Sanctuary Lakes, Albanvale, they have to win games. They're expected to win to get that double chance. And Braybrook have to beat Nth Sunshine if they believe they have any chance of finishing in the top two, and they should.
You're right, the race for that top two certainly well and truly wide open in Division 3. Over the page now to Division 2, and we've got West Footscray playing at home to Caroline Springs. West Footscray in some great form the last few weeks.
Yeah, they have been the Roosters, and that should be another big win against Caroline Springs down at their home ground. And good to see, as we mentioned, Jamie Lane with his 5, I think, last week in good form. Uze boys playing. I think Adam's playing again this week and again the next couple of games. So that's fantastic. They're on a roll, the Roosters. Caroline Springs finals are out of the question now. They lost last week, I think, threw them right out. But they've got a lot to still to gain positive throughout the season down at Caroline Springs. But West Footscray.
And Parkside now play host to North Footscray as well. Parkside, top of the table, clear by a game, looking to keep that strength going.
Yeah, I think they're ready. They're in the home straight here, Parkside. They know what's at stake. That was a huge morale win last week against Glenorden on the scoreboard at 180-odd points or whatever it was, 170, 180-odd points. That is just fantastic. And unfortunately, I think no matter who gets in their way now, they're just going to get them out of the way, Parkside. North Footscray, I think it could be on the end of a bit of a hiding, I hate to say it, in this week's game against Parkside.
And speaking of hidings, of course, Glenorden, the wheels seem to have fallen off. It doesn't get any easier for them at home to win the Vale.
No, it doesn't. Rivalries, they played each other, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I think we had a bit of a look at that one, and just the way the draw with the Division 3 split, Division 2, Division 3 split happened. So down at Glenorden this time, as you said, the axle's just a little bit rough down at Glenorden. I don't say the wheels have fallen off, but they've got a lot of injuries. They need to just rebuild down there at the moment, and I don't think they will. I think Albanvale Falcons have just got their measure a little bit in this one. Glenorden won the last encounter the other week, but I think the Falcons will bounce back and have a big win.
Yeah, and in the final game for Division 2, Manor Lakes will be looking to try and continue a good second half of the season, playing host to Sunshine Heights.
Yeah, Manor Lakes, look, once again, one of those seasons that you just you don't want to remember too much. There's been a lot of little problems in-house and around the area, but I think Manor Lakes will have a big win against Sunshine Heights, who had a lot of, I think there's about 7 or 8 guys that this virus went through their club last week. Sunshine Heights, a couple ended up in hospital. So let's hope they've recovered this week for this week's round. And Ricky Munn doing a great job down at Sunshine Heights, but Manor Lakes... they want to make a bit of a statement to the remainder of this season.
No, indeed. Now over the page now to Division 1 and another exciting round of football here. We've got St Albans taking on Werribee Districts.
Yeah, look, Werribee District's been fantastic this year. Should finish top, well, definitely top 3 and possibly finish second on the ladder, depending on other games and other results. But St Albans, look, once again, it's been like this for a few years. Hard to pick out, hard to work out which way they're going to go. The good St Albans are very good. The bad St Albans are absolutely terrible some weeks. I just think after that big win last week against Hoppers, I think they're up and firing a little bit. Good to see Jenkins Quigley in their best last week. Big West has been dominating. He could have a big impact on this game this week. I reckon St Albans, at home, St Albans will get the points here.
Okay, of course they want to keep their double chance hopes alive. They'll need to beat Werribee Districts. You're right there, Tomsy. Altona playing host to Sunshine. Good last couple of weeks here for Altona, despite going down last week.
Yeah, no, they've been good, been more than competitive. Now, Sunshine Kangaroos, I mean, I think this is about the fourth time a few of us have written them off this season, but mathematically, they can still make it, and so can Altona.
Yes.
The winner of this game gives themselves a very rough outside chance, and that's the Penning Hoppers crossing, and they nearly have to lose every game. But I tell you, this is where the twists and turns of this beautiful Western Region Football League, this is what it's all about. Oh, I tell you, I'm going to Sunshine Kangaroos. I reckon just by a small margin. But, I'll go with the Kangaroos in this one, and there's still half a chance of finals.
Should be a full house over there in Altona in what will be a mini elimination final. Deer Park, the undefeated Deer Park, play host to Port Melbourne Colts. Probably a good fixture for them, coming off a very tough game last week against Spotswood.
Yeah, it was Deer Park. They when they flexed their muscles last week against Spotty, the first quarter was outstanding, and they showed the absolute class and talent they've got. Poor Colts, look, they've had one of those seasons with injuries and new players, and a bit of lack of depth here and there. That it's been hard on Jason Love, but he's a man for the job. Hopefully he's there for the next 3 to 5 to 6 years, because he'll get them back on track. The poor Colts, but it won't be against Deer Park next week, who I think is going to have a pretty convincing win, a big win actually.
Hoppers Crossing have struggled in the last couple of weeks after a great middle part of the season, but they've got a chance to bounce back against Albion.
They've got a big chance to bounce back against Albion. This is how do you tip this one? This is a bit hard to go with two young sides, two sides that have been inconsistent. Albion with that very morale sapping loss last week against Yarraville Seddon Eagles. Hoppers Crossing with a big loss against St Albans. I reckon Albion. I reckon Albion at their home ground. I reckon Hoppers Crossing going through that little bit of a real bad period, and finals are still not a lock-in for them at this stage. I reckon Albion will say they'll be that hurt by last week's loss that they'll throw everything at Hoppers Crossing, and I reckon they might just get the points, especially down at Albion.
Okay, fair call. And the final game to wrap up Division 1, Spotswood play host to Yarraville Seddon Eagles, who will be absolutely brimming off their first win of the season last week. Yeah,
they'll be wrapped, Yarraville Seddon Eagles. I'm sorry you won't get two in a row, though. Spotswood, they'll be once again hurting. They showed some great glimpses last week against Deer Park, passages of play and, 5 to 10 minute periods of the game where they showed that they're still the real deal, Spotswood, and they're right up in the best sides with, the others up there. But they'll have a big win against Yarraville Seddon Eagles.
And that wraps up our preview show here. Looking forward to another big week of Western Region Football League action. Thank you all. We'll see you soon.